if you sign someone to term, especially someone who at his time, I guess, would have been in his late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
If you sign someone to term, the odds of them looking worth it at the end of their deal, I got to tell you, it's not good.
Well, and
that's the problem with UFA signings.
And I have to say, for as far as free agent signings go, John Tavares is just about one of the best ever. In terms of what his production stayed pretty much, he's within 10 points of his career average every year.
I know the problem, like 11, especially with the cap the way it was I think impossible to live up to. He would have had to have his first season every season for that contract to truly be worth it. He didn't perform up to 11 mil.
In his last couple years?
The first year he absolutely did. The other 6, no.
No. Okay.
And that's not even saying he's bad. It's just the way the league was structured back then and the way it worked out because of COVID. You have to be a top 5 player in the league every year to be even
and he wasn't.
To be worth 11. And so it worked out about as well as it could have, and still not worth it.
Right.
That's a UFA.
So I wonder though.
And teams offered him more.
Because there are rumors this morning that I think it was James actually. James has just been dropping bombs, but that Matt Nyes and John Tavares' extensions could be done by next week.
Yes. Content Christmas. Give it to me. They've been too quiet.
Yes, they have.
I'm like, please, can I have a Steven Lorentz extension?
So, when you're signing to, what's interesting with Tavares is, they did the Chris Tanev deal. Chris Tanev is signed, if you don't know, until he's 42.
And he's going to play the whole thing.
Yeah. Could you do a 6-year deal at $4 million or $4.5 million for Tavares?
I mean, that would be insanely good.
I think it'd be good for both sides.
He had 74 points.
And you could, if you're him, front load that deal in bonuses, and then by year 2, year 3.
I don't know if he wants that anymore.
Right?
He can't?
I don't think he's eligible for one of the bonus laden contracts.
Not the 35 plus. I'm talking about just your signing bonus. You know how
signing.
So
bonus.
if he signs that and he gets the majority of that $24 million in the first 2 years, right? Then you have a highly tradable contract if you're the Leafs, or a highly let's LTIR this contract and no one cares.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you meant like bonus.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the bonus, the signing bonus thing. Yeah, make him make a salary of $1 million for the last 5 years of the deal. Just pay him all up front. Who cares?
100%.
Yeah.
And I look at that and I think, okay, if you get him a 4, right? Because you're spreading this out, you're bringing the AAV down, 4.5, less than 5. If you're able to do that,
it's like the anti-Marner. His number keeps going down somehow.
You've now put him in an area where it's okay to have him as the 3rd-line center.
Of course.
And I think that's the best case scenario for the Leafs. And I think bringing a guy like that back, I know it annoys people. I know like Jeff O'Neill, for instance, like hates the idea. But here's a guy that actually wants to be here. And since the Florida series, as you mentioned earlier, Steve, all we have heard about is, nobody wants to play there. A bunch of this, bunch of losers, whatever. Yeah. Like the media sucks. The fans suck. There's just 10,000 of them outside the stadium every time they play a playoff game. Fans really suck here. I think bringing
20,000 Panthers fans threw a beer last game.
20,000?
20,000.
Somebody, yeah.
Every fan in the building threw.
Stop. Somebody was like,
beer.
Panthers fans. I'm like, stop it. Come on. One
that's how it works.
No, it's not.
That's how it works. There's one bad actor, and it's all of them.
John Tavares. That's
how it works.
I'm in the same camp of like, don't bring back John Tavares, because I think you need to change up the mix as much as possible. And he's such an important piece in this lineup. And running him as your 2C hasn't worked.
Yes,
we've seen the entire time he's been here, it doesn't work. I think you're benefiting in your team construction by not bringing back Mitch or John and just having a whole bunch of different group of guys. But the number is becoming so good that it only makes sense to do it. And I don't think him wanting to be a Toronto Maple Leaf, I'm leaving that outside of the decision making on whether you should bring him back or not. Because like Steve, you want to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs too. Doesn't mean you're going to be good as 4C. And I feel like JT wanting to be there, I'm like, cool. But you had so many chances to get it done. I don't care how badly you want to play here. You should have won one of these series. But it makes too much sense for a $4 million guy.
I mean,
who had
that's
80 points
insane.
last year,
Yeah.
has the potential to score 40 still the next couple seasons. That just makes too much sense that you have to do it no matter how the last couple years went.
Yeah,
Like,
and
because-
if he's not core 4 John, he's just John.
Exactly.
And you have him, hey, we got this Easton Cowan kid we're going to throw on the third line. Let's
it's
mentor
not
him.
core 4 at that number.
Yes.
It's something different.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is going in the camp of changing the mix a little.
A $4 million player is not part of your core.
Exactly. We're getting both.
This is
At that point, you're getting both. You're getting a change of mix and a guy who's not in the core 4, and you're bringing him back.
Yes.
So it's good that at that number, it makes total sense.
If he comes back,
4 or 5. Anything above that, I'm starting to get a little antsy.
well, if he comes back, it sounds like he's coming back for less than half, potentially as like close to a third.
Just because
It's
he wants to be here
ridiculous.
so bad.
It's ridiculous.
Like if Marchand's going to get 8,
Yeah.
and that's what they're saying in free agent. He's going to get 8. And the Leafs are going to be in on that. Marchand's going to get $8 million at 37. Tavares would be worth 6 or 7.
I don't want JT at 7.
I don't either.
That's too much.
If he
But
went
4,
purely, if
Yeah.
he was purely going to the highest bidder, he's absolutely worth that much. But it doesn't sound like he is.
No, it's a ridiculous contract.
Now, Tyler Bertuzzi is a name that comes up. For Chicago Blackhawks fans, I don't know how real this is, but Chicago Blackhawks fans want this man bought out. I haven't even done the buyout calculator. But that is a guy
You guys are
who
nuts.
would have rather signed anywhere else other than Toronto. But July 2nd happened. The musical chairs stopped, and Tyler Bertuzzi became a Toronto Maple Leaf on a 1-year deal because he had nowhere else to go.
And was beloved here.
And
Not at first. He was bad at first.
Yeah, and then became extraordinarily popular.
He was really bad that fall.
He was terrible
Dude,
that fall.
He had like
sucked.
3 goals in 40 games or something.
But you-
crazy.
And was like a liability and had a shitty attitude.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh my God, get
Remember
this
that
guy
when he was
off
sitting
my
on the
team.
bench,
Boston?
laughing?
Yes.
Get this
Yeah.
guy off my team. And then, he's figuring it out. And holy shit, this guy's a monster.
He was a monster in that Boston series too. Like he was great. He
Monster down the stretch.
neutralized Marchand for the Leafs in a way that I've never seen a guy do because he just went right at him. And I think if that kind of player did become available, there's a guy that actually wanted to stay. And if he's bought out, if that actually happened, if he was bought out, you could get him on the cheap.
Why is that a thing?
Because it didn't go well in Chicago.
I don't
It's
think
not
it
going
is.
well.
He's got 3 years left at here. I'm going to buy it out now. 3 years left at 5.5. Like
Which
the
is a lot.
Blackhawks
That's a lot of money.
have aspirations of being good eventually, right?
Yeah.
So the you're going to be saddled with a cap hit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it probably continues beyond that. Like, dude, this sucks. It's $3.72 million next year, 2.9 the year after, 2.5 the year after, 1.2, 1.2, 1.2. Why are they doing this?
It makes more sense to trade him.
You're
For
telling me,
nothing.
dude, Chris Kreider is getting traded.
Yeah, I don't think that's the real thing that's happening.
I don't think it is either.
I think what they would likely do if they're going to trade him is they're trading and retaining.
I could see.
I just
Hey,
don't think.
does this make sense? Oh, no. The answer is no. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I don't think that the Chicago Blackhawks have enough established star players. Take of the century, I know. For a guy like Bertuzzi to do well, I don't think he's he's not a play driver.
yeah, it's a 6-year buyout. I'm just saying.
And how much per year?
It varies 3.72, 2.9, 2.5, 1.2, 1.2.
You'd rather just have a bad player on your team.
He's not.
He's not.
No, but I mean, like a guy
I don't-
who's like, I'd rather have a player who I think is underperforming, just a warm body, than
Right.
paying the 3 point whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It just makes more sense to have Tyler Bertuzzi.
I think that a guy like that would be great. For like the Leafs need to find.
They're weak on the left.
They need to find guys on the left. They need to find players like the Washington Capitals found players.
Would you believe me if I told you he almost had a career here?
Nice.
That's great.
He had his second highest goal total and fourth highest point total.
That's crazy.
23
I don't
goals,
know why
46
people.
points.
I don't know why people would want to buy it.
Oh, shit. Minus 39.
Oh, okay, that's
God
why.
damn. Wow. Holy shit.
But the point is,
Was anyone worse?
you gotta find.
Nope. He was worse.
You gotta find project players. If you're the Leafs, this is the position they've put themselves in.
Yeah.
You got to find guys who are not. It's not working out there. Could it work out here? And like going out and getting like Matt Duchene or like Ryan Donato or whatever means Tavares is that. It doesn't matter what he's making. He's now your 2C again. You got to have somebody who can be 2C ahead of Tavares. If you're re-signing him, he must be 3C.
Remember the Tavares to the wing conversation? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that?
Well, because they don't have enough centers.
It just went away. When they loaded up to have like a Matthews, Marner, Tavares line, Tavares was the center. They would not put this guy on the wing.
No.
Yeah, so 3C seems like the destination if they're ever going to move him off of 2.
Yeah, it's crazy.